Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's right, you're included too, and collectors of all ages, it is Aussieverse, and we are here to discuss Superman 2025. I am OmniBeau, joined by probably Superman, but today he's the Sheriff. He does have a little curl, so good on him. And Byron Zemo is back. But joining us for the first time on Aussieverse is one of our members, our four-lifers. Yes, that's right. If you are a four-lifer, you can appear on the show too. This man's name is Vanders. How are you, guys?
Pretty pumped.
Going well.
Really good.
Yeah, very good.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. We are proudly sponsored by Comic Bookaroo, and talking about our four-lifers, let's give them a shout. We have Byron and Vanders, the first two there, and they are on the show. What a coincidence. Bit of strange. Simple Simon, go check out his YouTube. RJE72, OG Shaggy Mac, KJB, Ben Sullivan, Excelsior, Cliff on Comics, who's live right now as well. Ali, Azrael85, Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. Check out his YouTube, and don't forget, still only 35 cents has a YouTube channel too. And if you want to contribute to Aussieverse and be a four-lifer, click the link now and join. That means you can be on the show. You can be added to an Instagram chat. You can get those special gifts. But if none of that interests you and you still want to support Aussieverse, subscribe to the channel. That's the best way you can do it. Enough of the plug, and let's get down to some loving. Speaking of that, hey, Claudia, how are you? Where's my Superman jacket? It's too hot. It's too hot. We have the heat up very much. All right. So we're going to start off with non-spoilers, of course. Let's go around the room and we will just give a brief how we felt about the movie and what we gave it out of 10 and what we liked, and we'll just start there for now. When we do talk about spoilers, we will let you know. It will be very, very obvious, so do not stress. Sharif, please start, sir.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I rated really, really high, 9.5.
Okay. All right. Byron.
I loved the movie. I had like such a big smile on my face for 2 hours straight. I would probably give it a 9.
All righty. V-Man.
Yeah, I really liked it. I probably read too many reviews before going in and got my expectations too high, but it was still really good. Would have given it an 8 out of 10. So,
Yep. Okay. I really dug it. Going into this movie, contradictory to what I just said to Vanders, I said to Vanders that the best way to enjoy these movies is to go in with little expectations, because then anything else that you get is a bonus, right? I ignored my own way of thinking because I was so looking up towards this that I had already built it in my head that this was going to be the greatest Superman movie that's ever existed. Because when you've had the, 4 Christopher Reeves, the 2 or so Henry Cavills, or 3 with Justice League, I guess. You've got the Brandon Routh and all that. I think the problems that we've missed from Superman movies is the action, is him fighting other things other than Lex Luthor, or Luthor, however you want to pronounce that, and the use of all of his powers. And I knew for a fact that we were going to get all of that in this movie. So I was already pumped for it, and I was not disappointed. I do have a couple of issues with a couple of things, but overall I really enjoyed it, and I will be giving it a 9.
Yeah, right. Unlike Vandis, I purposely not looked at reviews, not read anything that's been written out on the movie, because I wanted to go in just like Bo said, go in with a blank slate, not hoping for anything, just for the fact that I would enjoy myself. And I think I did the right thing.
man, I really wish I did.
All right, so let's talk about, first and foremost, Mr. David Corrin Sweat. How do you think he performed as Superman and Clark, or both? on the rankings of other actors?
All right. So in the introduction, when they showed how much time has passed, as in terms of where the movie is set in his career as Superman, I think his portrayal of the character is quite fresh because he's fairly new to it. He's not the experienced superhero that could take on anyone at any time, and how he dealt with the challenges that he faced in the movie. I thought it was fairly believable because, like I said, he's fairly new. He's still learning. So at times he's still on the he was on the ropes. So as far as his portrayal as Superman, for that amount of time he's been Superman, really well. I am a little bit disappointed about him not being able to portray Clark as long as he did on screen. So
There was hardly any Clark, wasn't there?
Exactly. So I'm really looking forward to how, if there's going to be a part 2, they're gonna do a little bit more of Clark and have an equal balance of Clark and Superman screen time wise.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, you go, Bo.
I was just going to say, I think there's little Clark because the purpose of this movie, as we know, apart from it to make money and be great, is to birth this new universe. So I think showing Superman and all the metahumans and things like that over Clark makes sense.
I agree with both of yous. Yeah, like as Superman, for a new Superman, and like with the context of the film, he really does a good job at showing that he's still new, but he's got experience still. Like he's balanced it pretty well. But yeah, like it definitely left you wanting to see more Clark, which I positive we would see a lot more of in a part 2.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. What did we think of Lois? What's her name?
Oh, Vanders hasn't gone yet.
Oh, sorry, Vanders.
That's so good. David was really good. I think he is Superman. Like, he just looks perfect. His voice is great. And I think one really good thing that worked for him is he is, like all of us, a big fan of the stuff, like the source material. Like, he's a massive geek himself. He looks good. And I think Clark, while I didn't really think about what everyone else thought about, the not being enough Clark, I thought he was really solid in the parts he was Clark. Like, and he also shows like a tiny bit of arrogance, but you can also see like he's not exactly too arrogant. Like, he's not like thinks he's better than everyone else. He just is human, as he says in the film.
Okay. It took me a little bit to get used to his voice. I'm not used to such a manly sounding Superman. You know,
it's a very deep voice.
Yeah. Which was good. You know, I've never heard that voice with a Superman before.
I love the hair difference.
Yeah, true. All right, what about Rachel Brosnahan, Lois Lane? I don't know this woman, and I hadn't seen her before. I was a little taken aback when we first saw her because I'm used to Lois. They purposely hiring a beautiful looking lady. And don't get me wrong, the actress that played her, yeah, I'm not saying she's not. It's just that she was just very, very like your normal woman that you would see walking down the street, and not like your gorgeous, beautiful, you know. And I thought she did really well. I thought she really did well. I don't really know how to expand on that, but yeah, I think she was a good Lois.
There were instances where when she was on screen, I I turned and told told my kid, I actually saw glimpses of Margot Kidder in terms of, you know, from some angle, when she looks like, and um, the way she delivered some of her dialogue. I if I were to close my eyes, I would hear Margot Kidder, and if I were to quickly blink on screen, I could see some resemblance on that. But apart from that, I think her portrayal as Lois, as the top reporter for the Daily Planet, she and Jimmy, they worked so well together in coming up with how they discovered what they discovered towards the end, and yeah, and the fact that she went out of her way to get help when Superman was in trouble. Yeah, it showed uh, how much of her she was willing to put forward to help Superman. It's a little bit difficult for me because we're doing non-spoilery parts for right now. So yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I
agree.
mean. You know what I
She
mean.
she
You know
was
what I
a
mean.
she was a great Lois. Yeah, she definitely, it felt human. Like it felt like realistic.
All right.
And
So we're all in agreement. It was a good Superman and a good Lois, correct?
yes.
Okay. What did we think about, first of all, his real parents, Bradley Cooper and Angela Serafin, who, I don't know if you know Angela Serafin, but she was from like Westworld and a couple of other things. I was very happy to see her because she doesn't really do much, but I think she's really good. I loved her in Westworld. I know it was a really small part playing Lara, but I'm glad that she's now on the big screen and hopefully she gets some more roles. Bradley Cooper, well, you know, I mean, can't really complain. You want to be a traitor to Marvel, that's fine.
Hey,
But, you
James
know,
Gunn.
it is what it is. Yeah, I didn't mind them.
They always get a big actor for Jor-El, which I think is cool to continue that like cycle.
Yeah. You guys?
I mean,
Yeah, they were great.
we probably won't see them much. So
Yeah, I wouldn't
like it was
expect
good.
to.
It was good to see them. I don't know if you really like. I'm not familiar with the lady that plays Clark's real mother, or Lara, I think, and actual
Yeah.
name is. I'm not too familiar. But like I don't expect we'll see them much. Like just in like messages, like in the film.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, I didn't do a lot of research before going in, and I had no idea Bradley Cooper was playing Jor-El. So when the image came out, I said, he does look a little bit familiar.
What's a raccoon doing being his dad?
I wasn't sure. I thought I'd recognize him, and then only after when I got home and did a little digging, I said, "Oh, yeah." So I was right. I thought it was him. But they look good in the Kryptonian garb. It's a good thing we didn't see the S symbol on their attires, so that's a little different.
All right. So, what did we think about the horrible casting of his adopted parents? That being Pruitt Taylor Vince from Tenacious D, and the mother, I don't even know who that was, Never Hal. But have you ever heard or thought of hearing Ma Kent with a, "Hey, Superman, what's going on down there? You got to go out and you got to save the world." Mm-hmm. I know I'm exaggerating it, but come on. Who made that casting choice?
Yeah, it was definitely different. But I
didn't
guess
get
for
any
like
of that real father bonding love, you know, from
I guess
Pruitt Taylor Vince. I know there was a little tear in his eye at one point, and he's like, "I'm so proud of you," and they tried to do it. But mate, when you've watched much TV as I have and as much movies as I have, and you've seen Pruitt Taylor Vince play a psycho so many times, which he has played a psycho so many times, and he's got that natural eye that just does this a lot, which I always thought was him acting, but apparently it's not. That's a real condition he's got, I think. I know you've got a sense of humor in Tenacious D, but this is not your Ma and Pa Kent, man.
I think they were trying to go for like realistic Kansas farmers, but I think they probably took it a bit too far.
I don't know about realistic, but okay, in terms of casting, I couldn't care less. But I think the actors were just working with what they've been given, and how the James Gunn directed them or wish to see them how they do it. But yeah, the mannerism, the accent, it threw me off a little bit. I think that's the first time we've ever seen the Ma and Pa Kent portrayed in that way. So it took me aback for a bit. And how sorry, I can't remember his name. How Pa Kent was portrayed like a bumbling fool. He's not really there, 100% there.
Yeah.
Like the scene where where Clark in the Superman suit was in his room, and Pa just went, "This mustn't gonna be all right." Just yeah, that's not my Pa Kent. Sorry.
Did anybody else pick up on who some of the Superman robots were?
Yeah, I think one was the guy that does a lot of voice acting. He was in Doom Patrol.
Oh, okay. Well, the
One
one
was-
I know.
One was Alan Trudeau. Is that his name?
Alan Tudyk, I think.
Trudick. Yeah, Trudick. I think
Oh,
one was
Gary. Yeah, he was Gary.
Yeah.
I think one was Mantis from Guardians.
That's correct.
Was one Michael Rooker?
Yep, one was Michael Rooker. Mantis, Pom Clemente, or however you say her name.
I didn't want to give it a go.
All right. The engineer, Maria Gabriela de Ferrara. Don't think I said that right, but I think I was close. What did you think about the engineer casting and them a little bit slowly introducing what will be the Authority?
I thought she did really well with how little we saw her. They definitely can expand upon her character in an Authority film.
Yeah.
And I like the I don't think this is a spoiler, the Planet Watch, their organization. It's based off Stormwatch, which is Authority.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
Bandits?
No, I liked her. Like, not too familiar with the character, because but I really liked the character. Like, what the powers are cool, and I thought the actor did really well. And yeah, hopefully we see a lot more.
That's from Steve. Steve Vanders.
Steve, just I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Now let's move on to who I thought stole the show, and that is Nicholas Hoult for Lex Luthor. I think this is the best Lex Luthor that has ever existed.
I agree.
Hands down.
I thought you were
Gene Hackman was a bit of a fool. Sorry, Sharif?
I thought you were going to say Crypto, but yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah. Gene Hackman I like, but I didn't like him as Lex Luthor. Who's the guy that we don't talk about anymore that was in the Brandon Routh one?
Spacey?
Kevin Spacey. I actually liked Kevin Spacey, but I felt like he was just trying to copy Gene Hackman.
I think the best one before this new one was the Smallville one. Michael
Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe he had a voiceover in the film, but I can't think of which voiceover he did.
Well, fair enough.
Well, to be fair, he's got so much time. I mean, Michael Rosenbaum, so much time put in Smallville that he was able to develop the character over a long period of time. But
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a movie, when you work on the movie for I don't know how long, a year, maybe a year and a half to make all this. So he's actors like that who's got to portray Luther has got to no time at all to get the voice.
But yeah, he was evil. Like that man is like diabolical as fuck in this movie. And like,
Rosenbaum was also the voice actor for Wally West in the JL
Yeah.
cartoon.
Yes.
but yeah, like we haven't had a Lex since Kevin Spacey. And I think he did a great job. That scene at the end, I won't say what it was, but his acting in that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think we've seen enough of it in the trailers. Where we see him in this office setting, the camera is fairly low, and he even just went that way.
Yeah.
Singing contempt of Superman. I think he nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was really good. Like, he's more of a modern one, obviously, because modern film, but he was like so good that he's so evil, and you're like, man, this guy is so evil. But then at the end, you feel bad for him.
Do you though?
I felt bad for him. I actually felt bad.
Because his evil plot didn't work.
Yes, that's how good he was.
I will say I saw some people complain how he was turned into a joke at the end of the movie because of that
I don't
one
agree
thing
with
that
that.
happened. But I think it was on purpose. Like he's on this high horse, he does all this evil shit, and then he just gets reduced to a joke and gets treated like a fucking toy. Yeah, I think he got what he deserved, and I think that was the whole point of it.
I just felt bad for him. I don't know why. I
We'll
did.
talk about that more in the spoiler comment. Claudia says, nah, F him.
Also, his head shape. It just looked a little strange. Like,
All they can do
He's-
is movie
like,
Hollywood magic without
I
changing the shape.
I can't talk because but his head shape looked, bald head was a bit.
Can I just
Suit him. He shouldn't rock that for a long time.
say that all non-head people would, to me, looks like that. Sorry.
All right, now let's move on to the office staff. We have Wendell Pierce playing Perry White, Beck Bennett playing Steve Lombard. We then have Michaela Hoover being Kat Grant. And of course, we have Skylar Gazondo as Jimmy Olsen. What did we think about all of this crew?
Nah, you skipped Ron Trout.
Who's that?
The black guy. But he had like no role in the movie.
I don't even remember him.
Oh,
He was in the ship. He was in the ship with them.
Ron Trout, the character. Yeah.
He had like one line. It's one.
He got screwed over the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, I just I want to be Wendell Pierce's character. He's so cool.
Yeah,
What I liked
Randall
about
Pierce-
the office staff was because it was so minimal, I feel like they threw in a lot to show the dynamic. Like, for example, you heard Perry White shout out to Jimmy, don't call me Chief. You had Kat Grant looking like the way we all know Kat Grant always looks. You then had Steve Lombardi, who was just this, guy that thinks he's really tough, but really is just an absolute pussy. And then you had Jimmy Olsen, which I thought was good too. So I did dig them all.
I love Jimmy Olsen just being like the absolute Riz master, just with his aura, all the girls
think-
around him fiending over him. It's so
I think
funny.
he was the best out of them. Like
The,
he was,
the
he was
the cast
nearly
of
like a main character, nearly. But yeah,
I think the Office cast is
he
more
got game.
for fanboys, because if you've gone in as a Superman movie fan, you might not know them, because I don't think at any point the previous movies have introduced those characters. But as a comic reader, you do recognize those names. I certainly did when they rattled off the names. Um, though certain characters do look their part, like Cat Grant. So hey, that's Cat, meow. But you know, they're just the name dropping. Ron Troop. Oh, Ron Troop, I know who he is. Okay, so that's what he looks like. But I think as much time as they got on screen, it's not their story. So just for the fans, hey, we didn't forget about them. And here you go.
I think it
Right.
does help with the world building.
Mm.
All right.
And
So, what about Frank Grillo as Rick Flag? And we also have the actors playing Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl. What do we think about all of them? Because we're going to speed it up
Right.
now because we haven't even started talking about the movie. It's just been freaking casting.
Alright, Frank Grillo, he's like in it for like 2-3 scenes. He was good. Look forward to seeing him in Peacemaker.
no thoughts of Rick Flag Senior, because just a few seconds on screen. The justice people. I'm not gonna say the last word yet. Um, um, yeah, they're all right. Towards the end, when they
I
play the powers, it was funny.
I loved Mr. Terrific, and that one scene with that song playing over, I think 5 years later or something. That was an amazing fight scene.
Yeah, that was good.
Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner is so funny.
Yeah.
So goddamn funny.
Yeah.
Hawk Girl was the least utilized, and hopefully they can expand on her in a Hawk project down the line.
I have never been interested in Mr. Terrific at all. He was one of those DC hero, and there's a lot of DC characters that I just do not care about at all. And Mr. Terrific was one of them. But after this movie, I kind of dig him now. Like I'm very surprised. Like I'd see a Mr. Terrific movie.
So they did a good job then.
I will
Yeah.
say they are talking about a Jim Olsen TV show and a Mr. Terrific TV show as possible spin-offs. Two best choices, I think.
All right, let's get into the movie, shall we? All right. I will be warning people about it. There's a big spoiler thing coming up in your face, so don't worry about it. That's like that. Spoilers. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the movie now. If you have not seen it, you don't want to know anything about it, get the hell out of here and come back afterwards, because it is now the time. All right. So we start off with 3,000 years ago, 300 years ago, 3 decades ago, 3 seconds ago, 3 minutes ago, all of this stuff. How do we feel about that?
I liked it. It's like it drops you into the story as if you were picking up a random comic as a kid.
I mean, it's a great tool to to catch you up, just like that, without having to do a lot of backstory. Yeah, really clever.
Yeah, look. I love origin stories. Like I could watch Spider-Man getting bitten by the spider like a million times and never get old. But I think the way they did it worked personally. I think it's crazy though when it gets to like 3 minutes. That's the first time he's lost a fight.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I actually really liked that. And I liked how that scene of him being dumped, that we've seen in the trailers 100 times, and then Crypto coming. I really, really liked how the movie started like that.
Yeah.
I do like. I see a lot of people complaining how he gets beat a lot in the film, but I think it makes sense because like he's been the strongest person on the planet for 3 years, and then just like that, lost his first fight. He gets healed, he goes straight back for round 2, and I think it shows like his will and his he's never given up. He's always gonna get back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And I think
So
that's like
also-
the only time he loses.
And to be
So I was
fair,
having a discussion with a friend that I went and saw this with, and they were saying how good the Henry Cavill movies were, and I was saying no, they weren't. And he was saying, why didn't you like them? And I said, look, I actually enjoyed Man of Steel. I just didn't like how dark and brooding this character is, because Superman is meant to be about hope. He's meant to be about light. He's meant to be the belief, the symbol of truth and excellence and all that sort of crap. And we haven't really gotten that with the Henry Cavill movies. And I feel like this movie brought that back. We've also went into territory that really should have been discussed a lot earlier on in Superman movies, but it never has. And that is the political aspect of it, of going into another country and you doing what you want and not sitting down with the president or prime minister or whatever it is, and Superman just taking matters into his own hands and the ramifications for that. I thought that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that.
I know BVS tried to do that political stuff, but I think they didn't portray it in the right way.
Yeah.
They tried to make it too I guess dark for the sake of being dark. But yeah, just the tone of those movies, even if the character was inspiring hope in those films, the whole film as a whole was just too dark.
Yeah. Okay, so back to this movie. All right, you know what? I'm just going to talk about what I didn't like. How's that?
Yeah.
Can I go for it?
All right. So first of all, I think I've got 2 or 3 things. So Metamorpho, right?
Ooh.
They don't really explain anything about him. He's just there, right? Like, he's meant to be obviously a metahuman, but where did he come from and why does he look like that, right? And then we're meant to care that he has a green sun. That doesn't make any sense either. Now, when I ask Claudia and other people that don't read comics, and I'm like, why was there a green child? What was with that? They explained it away. And they're like, well, obviously he's the son of a metahuman and he just had a green child. And I'm like, okay, well, fair enough. But, is that a Metamorpho thing? Is that in the comics?
He has a son in the comics, but I think they changed the design to make it more simple and cute looking.
So in the comics, what is he?
So I think in the comics, he kind of just looks like a baby Metamorpho, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it came to Metamorpho, I know what you mean. Like, all I cared about was just hurry up and save Superman. Like, let's move this along.
Yeah.
Like,
I
like the character, but yeah,
I did like how his powers were portrayed. Like, they're making the Thor hammer. I thought was really cool. And then when he was just the floating head because he dispersed his body as the gas, I think it really showed the comic bookiness of his powers, and they
That's
weren't
true.
afraid to show it. And I did like that.
Again, like I said, these aspects of that character only appeals to I don't want to say comic book people, but all right. So let's say people who are familiar with the character, they do it's fan service. I think, because like you said, Bob, who cares about this character? Because firstly, he's just thrown into the scene. There's no backstory to it, and with Metamorpho, before the two warring countries started going at each other, how he was sitting in front of the TV watching it all unfold with this other person, with this lady beside him. All right, first, I'm not familiar with the whole of the characters. So first question I asked myself was, right, so who is she? Is she his partner? they do the nasty together and got that green baby, and I just went, ew. That's funny.
I was expecting her to be a metahuman herself, but she
Wasn't
seems
she
normal.
Lex's ex-girlfriend?
No, so everyone said the girl in the pink suit in the cell next to them was his wife, but ended up not, and his actual wife was actually a completely different girl.
Because that girl in the cell next to him got released at the very end.
And yeah, it was
Did you-
just Lex's
yeah.
ex.
Yeah, that's what I get it as well.
So the other thing that I didn't like, which was my biggest point, I think, it really annoyed me, was the woman that is obsessed with Jimmy Olsen. That's with Lex, right?
Nah.
V?
First of all, is that meant to be Tess?
Tess Marker?
What's her name?
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Eve
yeah,
Tessmacher,
Tess Marker, yeah.
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, so first of all, that is not Eve Tessmacher at all, right? She's meant to be a bit of a hard ass, right? Now, second of all, why is a woman that is attracted to whatever Jimmy has also attracted to Lex? Now, okay, fair enough. People have different tastes. Cool. But did you find it believable that a woman can be with like a billionaire genius guy that is like the shit on the Forbes top 500, or she wants to cheat on that guy for a nerd that works at a newspaper? Like, that didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And she loved Jimmy. She loved Jimmy.
With the first point about her not being like hard or something, I think you might be getting confused with Eve and Mercy.
Oh, okay, maybe I am.
Mercy Graves is the really tough. Like I think she's like usually
The-
Asian. I think
The assistant.
she's like the main
bodyguard.
assistant. Yeah.
She's a major
Um,
character in the current Batman Superman World's Finest run. Because that's what I'm
So
reading.
first of all, if you don't know Metamorpho and you don't know Stag Industries, then that doesn't mean shit.
True.
You know, I get it, Nick. I get it. But, you know, that doesn't mean shit to the rest of the people, right? So hang on a minute. Going back to my problem. So the woman that was obsessed with Jimmy, but with Lex, that's meant to be Tessmacher, right?
yeah, not Mercy.
Okay. That does not change my answer. Why is she with those completely opposite ends of the scale?
All right, to be fair, Jimmy Olsen is a very nice, normal guy, and then Lex is picking up pens and throwing them at her and hurting her leg and stuff. Which that scene was crazy, by the way, when I was like, what the fuck?
Wow. Okay.
No.
You mean nerd, not nerds. You just love one. That really, really bothered me. I don't know why, but I didn't find it plausible that Lex would keep a woman around that he has any inkling that she's cheating, revealing secrets, or has it. Are you telling me that Lex Luthor, with all of his brains and cameras and money everywhere, that he wouldn't know where she is at all times and sneaking off to meet him in an alley? Come on.
That is one issue I had. Like, he would have known. Like,
yeah.
There's no way he didn't.
Unless like you don't really see their relationship much, but I think I got the vibe of like he kind of just keeps her around like in front of other people, but like he doesn't actually care about her.
The way I see it, is that
He must
Lex
have a really good.
Lex is so laser focused on what he wants to get done with Superman that everything else just falls off his radar. That's how I would explain that to myself.
Like for 3 years, he's been watching all Superman's moves, programming them into C12, B15, D8, like all of these moves. It's like, yeah, he spends 24/7, 3 years straight. Like, Eve is not getting any attention from him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first time he was calling he was calling out all this coded plays and getting and having Superman handed his ass with by Ultraman. Now that's another character that we need to talk about at some point. It explains the starting of it all as well, how he got beat.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Ultraman is his clone, so he's same power level. Lex is a genius. He's copied all his moves, so Superman is fighting himself times 10. So it makes sense why he gets beat.
Hmm.
And
and
yeah,
I'm gonna fall back on the your earlier point, Byron, about how when Superman got beat, he was brought back to the fortress, healed, and then he just went back out without having to plan on how to defeat whoever defeated him. It just reinforces what I said earlier, that he's only 3 years in and he hasn't had that kind of experience yet,
not
especially
smart
when
enough.
exactly when you say he's been the most powerful being for the past 3 years. He hasn't had anyone come up to his level for him to work things out on how or the best way to handle this situation.
Like he hasn't had to like think critically when versing anyone before. And yeah, it was definitely a good lesson that he got.
How did Lex find the Fortress of Solitude?
Oh,
I think they tracked him.
Engineer.
I
the
think they-
engineer saw it.
All right. I thought there was an explanation there. All right. Let's go into Ultraman, okay? Because this is my last point of stuff that I didn't like.
I
right?
feel like it's going to be the same thing as me. I
Okay.
feel.
Okay.
Let's
First
hear
of
it.
all, all right. Superman already has a clone, and he's called Bizarro. Point one.
Okay,
Point
go
two.
on, yeah, go on.
I have a
Point two.
counter to this.
Ultraman is not a clone. Ultraman is another Superman from another universe that likes to snort kryptonite, right? Now, I guess my biggest problem with that choice is Superman has been cloned. And yet, for some reason, that clone is a bit of an arsehole. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, the people I was in the car with, they've said it's because he didn't get Clark's upbringing with Ma and Pa Kent. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, because he wasn't cloned as a baby and then Lex raised him. He was cloned as an adult. So I know about clones, baby. If you get cloned, you get all those memories and emotions and everything up until the day that you come out of that pod or tank or whatever, right? So he
Do
should
you?
have had the same upbringing.
Do you?
I think they
Don't
can always
you?
just say no.
I don't think
Well,
so. Okay,
I haven't.
So what's
let's
the
discuss.
clone then?
All right, so let's discuss back to the first one, which was
Bizarro.
Is he Bizarro though?
No, he's Ultraman.
No, he's not Bizarro yet. At the end, he gets sucked into the black hole. I think Bizarro World is on the other side of that, or something that makes him Bizarro.
But now we can never have Ultraman because the name's been taken.
I don't think the name being taken is like a big deal. Like,
I think it's a great way to combine two characters, quote unquote Bizarro and Ultraman. The the first instance when Luther Engineer and Ultraman got onto site where the fortress is, and then the door opened. Even before that, when Superman explained that it's all genetically coded, and somehow Lex got the doors open and said, "Okay, so we know that's Lex. We know that's the engineer. but we don't know who the third person is. With the black hood and the goggles, he does look a little bit like Doomsday in terms of the design.
Black
That
Noir.
leaves only that character with a question mark that he would be able to open the door because it's genetically coded. So we know that that's gonna be an L. We don't know who yet. And then as the movie progresses, and then when Superman and Ultraman got into the fight, typical half mask gone off, he takes it off, and we see a mirror image. And then Lex started to explain how he got a sample of Superman's DNA, and he made a clone of it. That's when the explanation comes out that when you do a cloning process, it's not perfect. So and that clone comes out dumb but highly suggestive. That's how when he called out all the plays, Ultraman just responded uh, out of stupidity or simpleness, and he just reacts to those commands, and he just did what he's been commanded to do.
And
Um,
did you see his face? Like he just looks a bit dumb. Like I don't know if I just got that from his eyes. I think
I
you
don't
can
know,
tell
man.
you can tell he's a bit slow.
With his long hair, I just kept seeing Hayden Christensen, Darth Vader.
I saw more Henry Cavill. I can't lie, with long hair.
Okay, well, I didn't dig that bit. I didn't like that. You know, they should have given more of a reason as to why, if you're going to clone somebody, he's not an exact duplicate.
Well, they should have committed further and had made him just look more like Bizarro.
Well, yeah, even if he has like a bit of a crack on his face or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I don't like it because one of my problems with the superhero movies in general is that when you kill a villain, you can't use them again, right? Or when you use a villain's name and it's not used in the right way, if you ever want to use that villain later, you can't now, right?
Mm.
And that's like my problem with this. Like, if they ever wanted to introduce the proper
Earth,
Ultraman,
Earth
they
3.
can't now unless a a guy that looks exactly like Superman and has all the powers and everything from another universe comes into that world, and then someone goes, "Oh, is that Ultraman from the first movie?" And then he goes, "Ultraman, I like it," and then takes the name. Then that makes a bit more sense.
So with my black hole theory about how he could lead to him becoming Bizarro, another idea could be that black hole leads to Earth 3. Owlman, super evil, super smart, finds him, fixes up his brain, turns him into the real Ultraman.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't mind that.
It's a minute explanation, It's not like nothing too deep.
Even with Earth 3, or when Grant Morrison reintroduced the syndicate, but he labeled it as Earth 2. Whether it's Earth 2 or Earth 3, that's beside the point. But I when we saw Lex open a doorway into the pocket universe, I actually thought that would be Earth 2 or / Earth 3, and that's where he found Ultraman, and maybe he finagled his way and get Ultraman to help Lex with what he planned to do on our in the universe. All
Thanks
good,
for
my
joining,
man. Yeah, so I thought that's initially that's where Ultraman came from the pocket universe. But then when he's towards the end, when he's started talking about making clones and all that, all right, that's not as cool as what I thought.
I will say they said that he used Superman's DNA, but Lex didn't say he used his own. So I think that could lead to him getting the idea of putting Superman and his own DNA and getting Superboy. But yeah, definitely just a lot of seeds planted. Whatever the writers come up with in future films and stuff, they can pick up on them and do their own thing. Like I do like the open endness on a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was one thing else. Oh, well, you mentioned about characters dying and not being able to use them again in the follow up.
Yep.
Again, like all things, if you don't see a dead body, it's not dead.
Yeah.
Ultraman went to the black hole. We didn't see a dead body, so it's still a possibility. He might come in contact with someone or something on the other side, and they helped him get better. And round two, baby.
Another one complaint I had with the movie, I felt like some scene transitions were a bit jarring.
Oh, how so?
So like the scene with him talking to Lois at nighttime with the imp in the background.
You didn't like that?
No. So Superman he goes towards the window because he's gonna fly out and he's like, I'm gonna go hand myself in.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like the middle of the next day when he gets slammed onto the floor and I'm like, what did he do for those 12 hours after he said he was gonna get that to happen? Like, did he wait? Like, it felt a bit like jarring to me, but that's just a very minor nitpick.
When that scene came out, I remember turning around. I had Claudia on one side and I had a mate on the other side. And when they're talking and you're seeing that in the background, I turned around. I've gone, "What the fuck's going on? What's
Yeah.
going on outside?" You know? And he started laughing and all that. And then you see the Green Lantern, dum, 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 dum. And then he goes, I thought that was a really good touch. I'm not going
I
to lie.
do,
I thought that
I
was
do
really cool.
like they show that other things happen in the city. It's like Marvel, like you have the Void in Thunderbolts, and
Yeah.
then you never see it get referenced in Spider-Man or Daredevil or anything.
Yeah.
Kingpin ruling over New York never gets mentioned in Thunderbolts. Probably won't get mentioned in Spider-Man. Like, at least with that, they show other heroes are doing other shit in the background. Like,
Yeah.
man, a Marvel movie just needs in New York just needs to have Spider-Man swinging in the background of the scene. That's all they need to do.
I know.
Like, I did enjoy that, but it was weird that the imps look like that instead of like the usual ones like Mixie or Batmite. But hopefully
Yeah.
we do see those down the line because I know James Gunn loves Batmite.
I mean, even before Superman explained to Lois that what the thing was at the back, just the image itself, I was thinking, oh, it's like a mix of Solaris and Starro, with one big eye and tentacles going out. And then when he said, "Oh, imp from different dimensions," mix, really?
Well, to be fair, that's a whole race of imps that we only ever see two of them. So
True.
yeah, just planting the seeds of them being a thing in the universe, which I thought is really
Alright.
cool.
JSS Brooklyn, thank you for joining us, brother. What are the thoughts on the new Superman symbolism? Well, I'm gonna take you literally at your word right here and talk about the actual symbol. I do not like it. I haven't liked it since day one, but I understand you want to do things a bit differently. But no, that is not the Superman symbol. Is he going to get old and go to Kingdom Come? What's going on?
I will say,
Oh, you were meaning the S symbol.
Sharif mentioned how you don't see the crest on his parents.
Yep.
I think that might lead to the door of going to the original S in a sequel or down the line if he ever wants to like change the logo after all of this shit with the Kryptonians being Viltrumite like people. He might want a new symbol.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything's possible, but I thought they meant like symbolism like the whole immigrant stuff that went super
Yeah.
viral. Did you guys see the Dean Kane comments on it?
No.
Dean
What
Kane,
was it?
he said that it was super woke and they ruined Superman, and
Really?
because Dean Kane's very like right supporter.
I don't understand that because, like, the friend that I went to with, he was going on and on about how I hope they don't make it woke. I hope they don't, and he walked out enjoying the film.
Mm. I don't understand the whole word woke when people use it. Like,
Well, I know what it
I'm-
means, but people
I'm-
just like to use it for everything now.
I'm still trying to
Yeah.
understand which part of the movie that Dean Cain thought they went woke with.
it was
I didn't
it was more James Gunn's comments saying Superman is an immigrant, which he is, but I don't know. People don't like hearing that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, but that's the reality of it, though.
Yeah.
Where are you or whose side are you on in the scene between Clark and Lois when she interviewed him as Superman on the political aspect of Superman going into a sovereign country and just taking things
And
into his own
defending
hands?
them.
Okay.
Where do you stand on that?
The problem is that you've got the way that life should be, and then you've got the way life is, right? Now, we as a human race have just absolutely stuffed up the way the world works. And I mean, like, even just having to go to work 5 days out of 7 for pretty much your whole life is just a cruel joke on society. That's my opinion. So when you turn around and say, you know what, I'm Superman and I see evil things happening, I'm going to go out there and stop them. Cool. I don't blame him. And I think every comic book fan would like to think that they would do the same thing. The reality and the way life is, though, is that you can't do that shit. You need to sign papers and have meetings and talk to this and talk to that. And that's the only way you're going to get things done. The problem is, though, is that, you know, I think Clark, Cal, Superman, whatever you want to call him, I think he's smart enough to know that if you do things the way the world's meant to, things are never going to get done.
Yeah.
So, yes, he was a bit arrogant in just going and doing
And I
it. But
guess
at the end of the
a bit-
day, it's
a bit
very,
naive.
very black and white for him.
Yeah.
People were going to die. I was going to save them. Bottom line, that's all that matters.
Does it matter who's right or wrong?
It depends who you ask. If you're asking me, no, it doesn't matter. If you're asking society as a whole, they probably would. You know, there'd be a large portion of them that would be like, how dare Superman just enter a country? Oh, the Americans, and who knows how they'd twist stuff around, you know?
I don't want to get too like political with this, but I think the whole Barovia invading that other one, I think people would kind of compare it to like Israel and Palestine and stuff. And it's like, take it however you want to take it, but the movie is a comic book movie if you're taking it like direct and like literal.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't like hate on that movie because you want to project your own thoughts onto it and then be like, wait a minute, I don't like that. You know? But yeah.
You know, the part when Jimmy just got all the photos that was sent to him with all the selfies, with all the documents and the maps in the background, and they blow up this map between the two countries, and then half of that had Luther's name in it.
Luthor was his country name.
Harks back to Gene Hackman having to bomb San Francisco and then have his strip of land to his name. I just enjoy this kind of bits about throwbacks and callbacks and hidden gems. It just ties everything from what we've seen before to what is now. Somehow, old time fans are not left out or left behind. I just love it.
I'm looking forward to when they do a World's Finest movie and they adapt the Jeff Loeb story and Lex Luthor is all of a sudden president. I can definitely see that happening. Like he just covers it all up. says, "I wasn't a traitor," and then boom, president. Yeah, that's realistic. Yeah.
All right, let's round it up by talking about the big thing, the thing that just without this, it just wouldn't have been a movie, and that is Superdog. Let's go over it. We've got Crypto, who looks nothing like this Crypto, who looks nothing like this Crypto either. But, what did you guys think about the dog?
I loved Crypto, and I think they actually balanced him pretty well. Like he wasn't in the movie too much, and I think like the small doses we got were very good. And like he's obviously a bad dog, but you still end up like caring about him because it's a dog, which I
Yeah.
think is the funny part about it. And then yes, Supergirl's dog, and then we know what happens in that story, so it's like fuck.
At,
Don't
at
want to say
first,
that.
at first, I blame Superman for not for not actually training him. And then, dude, he's a super dog. He could literally tear buildings down, and you don't train him. Uh, but then that conversation with Four in the fortress, where was it Four? That Crypto's he's just looking after him, for someone else, and then like a fort. What would he use? Foster. And then, so Crypto's not his. And then obviously we know what's in the background, what's happening, and then the end credit scene where we saw Kara coming in all drunk, and it's she's just gotten back, and
And that
then
it explains why Crypto is the way he is, because he allows it. But I
But
do like how that scene is the ending and not a credit scene, so people didn't miss out on it.
No, I disagree there. But before we go into that, let's talk about Vanders with his Gary comment. What was with Gary? Like, I mean, they say he goes, "Oh, we don't care whether the dog lives or dies because we're automatons and all that." But then, like, clearly the female robot has a personality, and then clearly all of them care about Superman not dying. So it's like, can you pick a lane, robots?
I think that was done on purpose. Like they're robots. They know they're robots, so they think, "Oh, we're robots. We don't care." But
Yeah,
then,
but then she's
as
like,
the
"Oh, he
audience,
smiled at me."
we see, oh wait, they do care. And then the robots self-realize that as well when they die, and then they build themselves back at the end.
How they're all deactivated. Who put them back together?
Yeah.
I assume Superman did, and some time just passed in between.
I don't know, man.
Oh, it's tough because that line he said, Superman said, "Oh, good to see you back," and then we just saw that
No,
scar. Why didn't he just? Why the need for the scar?
yeah.
No?
Yep. 100%, mate.
So, Bo, why do you disagree with the important end scene not being a credit scene?
Because I hate end credit scenes that make you stay till the end of the credits and you don't care about them.
Yeah.
I could have waited until I rewatch it on DVD or streaming or whatever and then watched it then. You've just wasted 5 minutes of my life so I could go see a patted dog.
All right,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
James
it was a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. That's why Claudia chose it for the thumbnail. But come on, man. And then the other one. Oh, the building. Oh, it's not a line. What do you want me to do with the building? No, sorry, don't you want me to do it again? Come on, man. Like, that should have
Alright.
been a deleted scene or something. You're like, give me
James-
something. You know what I mean? I want Galactus walking down the street or something. You know what I mean? All right, DC, you know what I mean?
James Gunn did say he wanted end credit scenes to just be more fun, like you don't have to watch them scenes.
Yeah,
Which I
well,
think is fair enough, since most of the audience, like no matter how many superhero movies come out, most of the audience leaves once
oh my
the film
God,
ends.
what is wrong with people?
Like this, every time, no one learns their lesson.
I don't know if
That's
it's just me, but the way I see the end credit scene between Superman and Mr. Terrific, where the building wasn't just put right. I didn't take it as, you know, as Superman just elbowing Terrific and saying, "Hey, you didn't do a good job." I may have taken it a little bit deeper in saying that, in seeing that the world was not put together. Something's gonna come out of it. Just for the fact that, you know, half of the building is a couple of inches off from the surface. Metropolis wasn't put back right.
You reckon Apocalypse is going to come out?
The fissure between the from the rib wasn't sealed properly. Something might come out. And that's from the Pocket Universe, wasn't it? And we've seen how the was it the, what did Terrific say? The negative plasma, where Superman was literally drowning because he didn't have enough power to fly back out, and having the black hole in it pulling him. Maybe something's gonna come out out of that few seconds. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how they can fix that. Like, the world's like this, and it's like, how do you rebuild with that? Like, what do you do? What do you even do? It is weird. But
Right. Before we go, we do have some breaking news. We do want to have a word from our sponsor, Comic Bookaroo, proud sponsors of Aussieverse for all your comic book needs. Graphic novels, hardcovers, omnibuses, single issues. Don't forget to pre-order every Sunday at Comic Bookaroo. That's right, Comic Bookaroo, Australia's #1 online comic book store. Get your pre-orders in now before every Sunday. Otherwise, you might miss out, hence our FOC weekly shows. Okay, guys, anything else you want to contribute?
No, just make sure you watch Peacemaker Season 2. It's gonna continue some story bits.
I haven't even watched Season 1 yet.
You gotta watch it, man. That's such a good show.
Dude, you've got to check it out. You know, now he's in 2 different DC universes.
I did like his TV appearance in the movie. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, neither was I. But I'm glad they did that.
Just him ragging on Superman. So in character.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's a wrap then. What have we got coming up on Aussieverse, guys? We have the rest of the buys for 2025. We have your haul video. We have my haul video. We have everybody's haul video. We have the Fantastic Four coming up. We have more 5 minutes of metal coming up. We have more interviews coming. And we also have some fun shows. Subscribe to Aussieverse now. And don't miss out. What's Aussieverse, guys?
Always
Aussieverse.
and forever will be. For life.
Life.
Catch you next time.